If you were to bet on one person living to 120 years old, who would it be right now?
Anyone listening to this podcast that's alive in 5 years.
Can live to 120?
No question. It will be your choice whether or not you want to live to 120, possibly 140.
How are they going to do that?
There are people alive right now that are definitely living to 120, 140.
On Social Security, they're living to like 200.
Social Security, they're what, 360 or something? Yeah. A lot of people in the 200s right now.
That's the secret.
They're feeling better than the biblical times.
You'll live forever.
The reason for this is that this is a really exciting time for humanity right now because I believe, and especially this Maha movement is going to help propel this. I believe that if you're alive in 5 years, it will be your choice whether or not you want to live to 120. The reason why I say that is for the first time, we have the conversion of large data, huge pools of data, artificial intelligence, and early detection. And these things are unifying. And what I mean by this is big data and artificial intelligence is about to circumvent the entire system. No longer is pharma going to control the narrative. And even the FDA, CDC will do their best, but big data is starting to prove what works and what doesn't, and it has no agenda. So in other words, the statin theory of the statin hypothesis of cholesterol is being thrown by the wayside. A lot of the hypotheses around hypertension are being debunked by big data. A lot of the hypotheses around SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, is being debunked. So a lot of the chemical synthetic pharmaceutical theory is actually being debunked by large data. We're realizing that the way to live a longer, healthier, happier, more fulfilling life is because of modifiable risk factors, things like what I just was telling you about. And that the answer is not chemicals, synthetics, and pharmaceuticals, that the answer is nutrients. And we're learning how to test the body for certain nutrient deficiencies. You want to see magic happen in human beings? You give their body the raw material it needs to do its job. I think the most undiscovered things are things like mineral salts. Hydrogen gas, I think hydrogen water tablets will be as common as a multivitamin in 10 years because the research proves that this element can not only reduce inflammation, lengthen telomeres, improve circulation, improve the absorption of our vitamins, our minerals, our amino acids. It's so prevalent and it's so harmless. We can soak injured limbs in this kind of water. We're going to find that hydrating, mineralizing, and nutrifying the body, prioritizing sleep, connection, sense of community, and getting back to Mother Nature, whether we do it through biohacking modalities or not, this is going to prove to be the most massive
How
extension.
long could someone realistically live for? Is there going to be a point where just like physically we can't get past like 200 years without attaching our head to like a machine and just like being physically present? Like at what point does the body just naturally break down no matter what you do to it?
I don't think we know that answer. I think that we're starting to, I think the greatest theory in aging that's emerging now is this theory of immunofatigue. And what it says is that the immune system, as we age, is becoming progressively more overwhelmed, right? Like if you put a toxic compound into an infant's body, you see how fast the body reacts to it. By the time you are middle age, the amount of glyphosates, microplastics, aflatoxins, mold, mycotoxins, metals, viruses. So the immune system, we think of the immune system as something that actually defends us from foreign invaders, which is very true. It defends us from, parasites, bacteria, viruses. But about 65% of the immune system's role is to police ourselves, right? It's actually watching our bodies. If you think about the fact that every form of cancer, regardless of its form or its origin, was at one time a healthy cell. It's a healthy cell that became metabolically sick. And so why do some healthy cells that are becoming metabolically sick get rid from the body and some actually set up shop and become a cancer? Because it's slipped by the immune system. So the majority of people listening to this podcast right now have at some point in their lifetime had CTCs, circulating tumor cells in their blood, the stage 0 form of cancer. But it was a walk in the park for the immune system. The immune system saw it and got rid of it. The majority of these viruses that we get in later in life are not actually viruses that we're catching. They're viruses we've always had. When people come down with Epstein-Barr virus, that's mono that they had as in 8th grade coming back as an adult. when you get chickenpox as a child, it comes back as shingles. You didn't catch shingles or catch Epstein-Barr. You always had it. So why did it appear in some people and not appear in others? Because their immune system was fatigued. This is when you realize that 40% of every DNA strand in our body is not human, it's viral. 60% of our DNA is human DNA. 40% of every strand of DNA in our bodies is viral. And so why is it that some people get those viruses and some people don't? You probably both have Epstein-Barr virus. Your
Mostly
immune
Jack,
system.
though.
Well, probably mostly Jack. Yeah, I mean, look at him.
Graham's got the Epstein, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I heard that. Graham's got it.
Yeah, Epstein's not a good virus right now politically. Cytomegalovirus. Let's go with that
Yeah,
one.
call
All
it
right.
from you, Jack.
But Jack definitely has more. I can just see it in his eyes. But the whole point is, it's a message of hope too. Like, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed by this. I want people to feel inspired by this, because, the greatest pharmacy is the one that God gave us. I mean, if we would get back to the faith in humanity and mankind, the power that this has over this. Frequency matters. Sense of community matters. What we put into our temple matters. It's so astounding to me that so many of us just let all these thieves into the temple, and we don't take care of the temple. We don't treat our bodies like a temple, and then we wonder why it's not serving us. It doesn't take much to be in service to yourself, just rearranging, habitual patterns. I have a whole community of people, my ultimate human community, that I'm trying to affect their habits so that they can make real permanent lifestyle change. Like, how should I be sleeping? How should I be waking up?
But before we get into that, men, real talk for a second, we are all afraid of losing our hair. And whether that's a receding hairline, thinning at the crown, or just thinning in general, the fear is there. But fortunately, there is a solution, and that would be our sponsor, Hims Hair Loss Solutions, where you could join hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back.
Hims offers a 100% online process that provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch, making treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted treatment options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
And if swallowing pills is a challenge for you, no problem at all, because Hims also has a serum, spray, and chewable options.
The process is simple and it's 100% online. Just answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment will be sent directly to your door.
So guys, start your absolutely free online visit today at hims.com/ICH.
That's HIMS.com/ICH for your personalized hair loss treatment options, or you could click the link down below in the description. HIMS.com/ICH.
Results vary. Based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil, prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Thank you to Hims for sponsoring this episode, and back to the podcast.